get ready. Get ready for the worst raw review on the internet. The worst raw review on the internet. Draws raw. With Eric B and Randy C. Chickens of bananas and fresh roast
on the computer.
This is Draws raw.
Hello, friends, listeners, and newcomers. It's me, Eric B., and on this show, you can call me the Raw Dog. And I am here on Draws Raw, the absolute worst or best Raw review on the internet. Thank you so much for joining us. And folks, I am joined actually not by Randy C. this week, but I have a special partner in crime this week. He is all the way from the East Coast, one half of the Smack Daddies, the East Coast podcasting champions of the world, until Greg quits. Let's just face it. But Brad, the dad, brother, thank you so much for joining me.
I feel like Greg started singing the song, Send Him to Raw, Send Him Away. And all of a sudden I showed up here on Raw. It's like, damn it, if they send the Wyatts over here and the MFTs this week, I'm going to be really mad.
Well, there's a lot going on. People are all over the places. Who knows? Maybe it's a Wyatt underneath that mask. Maybe we're getting the swerve of a lifetime. But we're not hiding from you guys here. We had to take a week off last week, so sorry for our listeners, but we're back. I know that Randy's not here, but don't worry, folks. It's not because of the copious amounts of swearing that we did in the last episode that we recorded, which seemed to be our most popular episode ever. I'm just going to add that as well. You guys are kind of crazy, but I'm here with Brad, and we're going to talk about some Monday Night Raw. But first, Brad, how's your week been, brother?
Is this where I drop an F-bomb right in the beginning? It's been fucking great. We had a great weekend. Valentine's Day, I married somebody, as I said on the other podcast, that doesn't like Valentine's Day. So we just hung out, we watched a movie, and then my son invaded our house with his girlfriend. And so we ended up playing Catan.
Ooh, there you go.
So we taught her how to play Catan, and this kid did not need to learn very quickly because by the second game, she was almost winning. And my son made the rookie mistake, Eric. He's got no riz. He won. She could have won, and he beat her.
Oh no. Well, he's learning. And still you want to be on top. Because if you ain't first, you're last. That's something that a famous Ricky Bobby used to say. And we got to live by that. Lots of fun stuff going on in NASCAR this weekend as well. We talk about other sports. Let's all just kind of still be curious about what was going on with Michael Jordan and that child, but that's not why we're here today, folks. That's not why we're here today.
Wait. Are we here to talk about the fact that it looks like Ronda Rousey actually having a Netflix fight?
Oh, geez. So yeah, Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano, outside of the world of wrestling, but kind of still in the cusp of it, coming both out of retirement to have this MMA fight. And I can only imagine that the speed of this fight is going to be watching like Monday Night Raw on 0.5. Like there's no way that they're still in that position to be able to fight. And if we all remember Ronda's last couple of fights in the fighting world, if Gina Carano's in any ability to do so, she's going to knock her ass out. Just be completely honest about it.
Or if you read Ronda's book and you know that she's had so many concussions, perhaps this is not the best idea.
You know what? They'll have some miraculous rules or something in play, or headgear or something, just like they usually do, right? They always kind of hype us up for these massive events. Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson is also being discussed for April. So there's just so many things going on in the world of sports, entertainment, fighting, everything. And Netflix or TKO seems to have their hands in almost every single thing that truly is happening right now in that realm of stuff. But, geez, like I said, we weren't here last week before. We absolutely roasted and destroyed Monday Night Raw. This episode, I think we're going to be doing just a little bit less roasting here, Brad. Maybe a little smoking at some parts, but not so much roasting.
this show came up a little bit medium rare, maybe closer to well done. When you like your steak with some blood in the middle, this was probably, you got it the wrong temperature and you're looking at it going, I can eat this, but am I going to enjoy it?
Not as bad as the week prior, for sure. Our last episode that we did, me and Randy.
You skipped last week because last week was trash too. Don't lie.
Brad, I think so there's a lot going on in the realm of the draw as well. And we were in a position where we were kind of a little bit behind with our Mountie interview. So folks, if you want to go out there and listen to it, it's on the Hub Sports Entertainment Network, along with Brad's show, the Smack Daddies, which I encourage everybody to go ahead and listen to, the best SmackDown review on the internet. So we were a little bit behind with that, and we did kind of have to make the executive decision. Randy's back and moving forward with the radio show, and I think that it maybe cost us this week as well, because we got Randy on a little bit of a break time as we're running down and talking about Monday Night Raw. So, Brad, should we get into it this week?
Right. This show is brought to you by something. Do we know what this show is brought to you by?
It's brought to you by InteriorPlants.ca, as well as the handshaking team, THT, as well as, oh, geez. Why am I completely, this is why I miss Randy so much. Randy, we know you're listening, brother. We miss you. We absolutely miss you. But every one of our sponsors is going to be in the write-up for this show. So I do apologize about that as well, folks, for being not professional without my Rand dog around. Without my Rand dog around, it's tough, Brad. It really is.
When he's not here, things go to hell. We know that. It's fine. When the cat's away, the mice will play. And we're going to have some fun with this podcast because, let's be honest, we have to enjoy laughing at some of the stuff, including crates and live translating. Dominic Mysterio has a retirement plan already.
The worst live translator I've ever heard in my life. The poor man could have said whatever his girlfriend wanted to hear. But yes, we're getting into all of this. And like you said, Brad, we're going to have fun with this podcast because that's what this is. And we don't have to be professional. We are here to have fun for our listeners. And let's get into it, brother. We are 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away here from the Elimination Chamber. Things are really ramping up fast, as they seem to ramp up extremely fast now, from PLE to special episodes to PLE to PLE. Brad, there's just like no space in between to really let things resonate. So we're talking about like building up massive storylines, especially for the matches outside of the chamber. How are we really able to do this? What is your kind of go-to here to make a feud great in 2 to 3 weeks time?
My go-to is to steal a personal item or effect of somebody, which they have gone through, to attack them from behind, to put the custody of a child up on a pole.
Or a mother. That is a hint to somebody who's coming on to the draw in a couple of weeks. But yeah, if you make, like you said, if you make it a little bit more personal, you dig deep, then yeah, you can get the crowd into it. And we'll see that later on in one of the promos that's cut later on this evening. CM Punk is here, the champion himself. He is going to be talking about some Finn Balor and his challenge at the world title at Elimination Chamber again after losing. Hometown to hometown, Brad. Crazy enough, actually. Not like, well, hometown enough for Finn Balor when he lost his opportunity against Punk. And now Punk is going to Chicago. Is he going to pay back the deed to Finn Balor?
No, not a chance. This is the challenge of trying to make Finn Balor into a believable contender is quite challenging. And from what we hear about the WrestleMania card from all kinds of good reporting, and is that this is all up in the air. So who knows where we're going there? Like, where is Finn Balor going to be in 6 weeks?
Yeah, I think that the internet wrestling community wants that Finn Balor push. They want that redemption push. I just don't know where the space exists for that to happen now in the grand scheme of things and when you see who is there. Anyways, who's here tonight to start off the show? It's the Usos. People care about them, I think, sort of. I mean, as tag team champions, not so much. Like, they're just they're there and they're eating in the crowd, and that's what they're doing until the Vision come out and interrupt them. And the Usos literally just shut their mouth for the next 3 to 5 minutes of this promo. Don't say anything. Don't question why they're being cut off by nobody here. And it's really weird. As your top tag team, you're like coming out. You're supposed to be the draw. You get cut off by these bullies. We'll just say these bullies, more or less. And you're not even going to say nothing. You just stand up there like, no yeet. Not even no yeet. Not
No
one
yeet.
yeet, Brad.
It was just one of those things where you watch this show and you're like, why are you guys, they made them look so secondary, and they're already the champions of the most secondary division in wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. Which we talk about all the time, that it's a division that is struggling. And when you have guys like the Vision come out and they're not even with Braun Breaker, who's, ideally their big threat that they've been pushing, it just completely squashed them in this promo instantly. Anyways, we're talking all about the Chamber. We're talking about Logan Paul selling his friggin' $15.6 million Pokemon card after he bought it for $5 million a few years back. That's absolutely insane. And here comes LA Knight to interrupt. LA Knight, yeah, he wants to be in that chamber. He wants Bronson Reed to qualify. He wants to punch his little head in. And, he's talking about things that have happened, things that he's been through. Logan Paul says, like the car you got thrown through by Bronson Reed. And LA Knight responds hilariously, does a mock of his voice, and calls him a broccoli hair bitch. Broccoli hair bitch. That's unique.
Yeah. But factual, he does look like a broccoli haired bitch. We're going to see how many, that's like bitch number 4, 5. We're going to see how many we can get onto this. And this leads to a 6-man tag. Holla, holla, playa. They knew I was watching. Teddy Long came wandering out and said, holla, holla, playa.
Talking about swearing out of nowhere. So yeah, no, out of nowhere, LA Knight is just like, look, me and the Usos, we don't get along at all, but we're going to team up tonight against the Vision and we're going to kick y'all asses. And this is when you see the Usos exist again. And you wonder what happened or what was their plan beforehand? What was the plan before you got interrupted tonight, my friends? Because there has to be, I understand we don't need to be explained too much as wrestling fans, but what got interrupted? What was interrupted here? Were they just coming to talk at the start? Because that's all the Usos have been doing in this title reign anyways.
That's what they did for 3 weeks. Remember when Jimmy couldn't wrestle because he wasn't allowed overseas, whether that was court or it was his wife wanting him closer to home because she's pregnant. And Jay just came out and just yeeted. And it was like, okay, so I think that's what it was. It was a yeet fest. And then they got interrupted. Here's the other thing that you said, and I'm going to throw logic into this. Why does the Vision not want the tag titles?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense either. They're only focused on their main goal, which they can't even focus on now for apparently up to 6 to 12 months with Braun Breaker being out with this hernia injury. So what are you going to do? You're kind of in a, like you said, everything's up in the air. I'm sure that they had some plans for Seth versus Braun for WrestleMania. That's not going to be able to happen anymore. Anyways, okay. So we has fight, a 6-man tag, and we've been talking about how weak the Usos look, and unfortunately, this is another tag team match, 6-man tag team match that makes them look weaker, and it makes some of the members of the Vision look weaker in the process as well. I don't know if anybody comes out of this looking like a strong, dominant force. Let's just fast forward to the end, okay? Let's just get to the end here because the Vision takes the W over LA Knight and the Usos. LA Knight, who is trying to be looked as a, deemable threat in the Elimination Chamber. The Usos, who are your tag team champions, they get pinned more or less clean here in this match. And then afterwards...
That's why Jimmy's in this match, right? That's the whole purpose of having Jimmy in this match. Big Jim. I started calling my son Big Jim when he was sledding yesterday with my godson, and he was screwing around and screwing things up. I started calling him Big Jim, and he didn't know why I was calling him Big Jim. But everybody on this podcast knows why I was calling him Big Jim, because he was there to get the job.
Yeah, just take the pin, walk off, get paid. Pin me, pay me, job squad, let's go, baby. I love it. But yes, he takes that pin, and then afterwards, Logan grabs the headset. He's mouthing off to Michael Cole. Also, I don't understand, dude, but why was Michael Cole like pulling a referee most of this match? Every single tag, he was yelling out, tag, 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 and it was driving me crazy.
In honor of John, he's in honor of John Cena. He was calling all the spots.
He was just yelling out tag the whole time. Anyways, during this whole headset Logan Paul thing, here comes the masked man to curb stomp Logan Paul. So that means last week he did it to Austin Theory, which a lot of people said, hey, it's Austin Theory under that mask. This week he did it to Logan Paul. A lot of people are saying, hey, it's Logan Paul under the mask. So again, it's removing people from that list. Or is it Brad?
It's
when
not
you look at the body type, it looks like Seth Rollins. But
it's not Seth in that mask right now.
It can't be.
No, he's not cleared. So it's got to be. I'm gonna say it's probably the guy that's hanging out with the New Day, the
Grayson
Aussie.
Waller.
Yeah, it's Waller. It's definitely Waller for now. Who is it actually going to be? I don't know. It's gonna be the same guy that's in the crate, probably. Like at this point,
so they're pulling like a Black Scorpion kind of thing and hoping that it works out.
Yeah, they may not know who's going to be underneath the mask yet. They may have it. They may have supposed to have been Seth back at the beginning of this, but what does it matter? Because now your WrestleMania match is, if Seth makes it, if Seth can get to WrestleMania, we're not going to get Braun, are we?
No. And if there is a match for the Vision, like in a solo match, you would say, okay, well, if you don't have Braun Breaker, then you could push Logan Paul into that position to have that match with Seth. But you want to have that match with Bad Bunny if that's a reality. If that's actually happening, you want that to happen more than anything. In Vegas especially, they can definitely recreate not the same hype of his entrance in Puerto Rico, but it would be, as they so say, a vibe if you had Bad Bunny on that show. And everybody knows that guy delivers. Honestly, there's not one time that I watch that guy do anything that he doesn't entertain me. But wrestling definitely is fun to see him do it. All right.
Even when I don't understand a word of what he's saying, I understand the story that's being told. Like he did at the halftime show, and people complaining about subtitles. I don't need subtitles. I understand. I understand gestures. I understand when you touch your crotch 5 times during a song. I get what you're getting at, brother. I get you. I can feel it. But dude, what are we getting for WrestleMania with Division? Because they're not winning the chamber.
Listen, as we see later on in the show, translation only leads to tears. And a lot of what Bad Bunny was actually saying in that halftime show, especially the Ricky Martin portion, was shown. A lot of people might have been a little emotional based on what they were seeing. Anyways, talking about emotions, right? Adam Pearce is in the backstage and he walks up to some random jobber and he says, "What is this?" And it's a big giant box and it's got stamped on it, "Delivered to WWE, don't open until this date." And Adam Pearce sees this and he says, "What is this and who's it for?" And the guy says, "I didn't open it yet." "Well, why didn't you open it?" So first of all, I guess my first gripe with this is, why are we pretending that we don't understand English and we can't see what it says there on the crate, Adam Pearce? That's my first problem. My second problem, I guess you could say, maybe it's not a problem, but we have a mystery crate with something inside of it, not to be opened until Elimination Chamber. And now we're not only juggling who's under that mask, but we're juggling what's the crate. And I'm telling everybody right now, you're going to be extremely disappointed by what's inside of that crate. It's going to be some type of 2K add-on or something along that line.
You don't even think it's going to be a wrestler?
I don't think it's going to be a human. And a lot of people are saying it's going to be Jericho. It's going to be this person. Some people are saying it's going to be he who cannot be named. But how could it be a human being in a crate that's going to be shipped to SmackDown? So again, Brad, you're going to have to talk about it again. And then shipped I guess back to Raw, back to SmackDown, and then to the imagine if they're like, send it to NXT, and then NXT is like, send it to AAA. And then they got to bring the crate all the way from Mexico back to Chicago and pour Chris Jericho inside of said crate. By the time it's opened in Chicago, folks, we are looking at a mummified version. Y2J.
Dead.
He's
It's
gone.
dead. Chris Jericho. He's gone. Nobody put air holes in there, and whoever was in there. Why can't it just
Brad,
be
what are your thoughts?
I
What
was
are your
hoping.
thoughts?
I was hoping it was Jericho. After somebody said that, I was like, that would be fun. But really, what it's going to be is, you're probably right. 2K, the rest of the class of WWE Hall of Fame. Could that be what's in there?
Yeah, crack it on out, and it's gonna be like props of add-ons to the game, or an elimination chamber match with new accessories, or you can recreate the Hell in the Cell, or it's gonna be something disappointing.
Chainsaw
And
Charlie. Chainsaw Charlie. Can it be Chainsaw
I'd like
Charlie?
to be wrong. I would like to be wrong, but I feel like it's the secondary add-on right now, and it's less than 2 weeks before Chamber, and we're just throwing this in here. Here's a crate. WWE and TKO, especially as we've mentioned earlier in the show, has been pushing us to buy a lot recently. If it's not their products, it's other products. We thought about it. How are they still going to advertise without having TV ads? They found a way.
So I'm
And
looking
it's
at
inside that crate.
dude. I'm looking at the WWE 2K, and I'm like, the pre-order stuff drops that week.
There you go, right? It's going to be a special add-on, the plus edition. It's going to be a third Triple H edition. No, okay. Anyways, all right, don't open it until Elimination Chamber. Hopefully they don't do it like right before the men's match, or just get it over with, folks. Just get it over
Pre-show.
with.
That is
sooner than
perfectly
later.
good for the pre-show.
Yeah. That's absolutely pre-show madness there. Okay, moving forward. Let's go. Los Americanos pop up with them listening to the crate. When I see Pete Dunne with that mask on, I can just see how much he's hating life. They've changed that mask now 3 times. They've adapted it 3 different ways. Now the eye holes are like almost completely just covering the nose. You can tell the guy hates wearing a mask, but getting paid and not getting released. So go with it.
Youngest champion in WWE history, won the tournament. Him and oh no, he won the title later. Yeah, I'd just like, Pete Dunne hates it, but I bet you deep down, oh, the other guy loves it. He is just in his glory.
Oh yeah, Tyler Bates, or whoever that is under the mask. Sorry, we got to stay within kayfabe. Whoever it is under there is definitely enjoying it, and the crazy fake accents that they're throwing on is really funny too. You got 2 British guys doing Mexican accents, and a German guy doing a Spanish accent. Sorry, not Mexican. My apologies.
They might be doing
mucho.
They're doing a Latinx accent, and let's be honest. If this was any other time in history, this would be. We're gonna look back at this at the way we look at some of the things from the Attitude Era, right? Like this is really racist, right?
It's one of those things that's right on the cusp of hilariousness, but it's funnier when you have the other Americanos involved, and OG Americano. Anyways, getting ahead of ourselves here. Elimination Chamber qualifying match here for the ladies. It is Asuka versus Bayley versus Nattie. And I know who I wanted to win coming into this match. But anyways, yeah, that's not going to happen. I knew that wasn't going to happen for sure. But a decent match between these women. Bayley, what's going on with Bayley? She definitely doesn't need to be in this chamber match. I don't know how she fills that spot. Nattie, with the recent push that she's having and looking as strong as she is, it would definitely make sense to have somebody like that as a kind of a quasi Brock Lesnar type in the match. Asuka, she's a superstar, so she's always going to be good in whatever match you throw her in anyways. And that's what you see happening here. The 3 of them aren't too cohesive. There's definitely a lot of one-on-one with the other being tossed out of the ring happening a lot in this match. Nattie definitely looks tough and strong. She looks strong enough without needing to be in the chamber as well. So that is why you ultimately go here at the end with Nattie setting up the sharpshooter, but Bailey breaks that hold running knee, and she gets pulled right into Asuka, who's prone there waiting, and puts on the Asuka lock, gets the win here. Just over 10 minutes.
See, the only problem with this is I would have had Maxine Dupree's run in just before the end. I think her attacking Nattie furthers that storyline. I know that they did a lot of that stuff in these matches tonight, and it would have maybe been one too many, but it makes sense, and then it protects Nattie. Because the problem with this whole thing was Bailey got pinned, yes, and Nattie just got unlucky, but they're still gonna do the Maxine and Nattie storyline, which, by the way, is going to either be on your show after WrestleMania or my show before WrestleMania, because there's no way these two girls are getting a match at WrestleMania.
Oh, I don't know. There's 2 nights. There's 2 nights to fill. We're talking about Bad Bunny against Logan Paul. Probably definitely going to happen. It's definitely being discussed at the moment. So anything is possible. I wouldn't think that they would make it there. There's got to be something before Mania. There's got to be something before Mania.
God, there's got to be something before Mania. I think it's like, who's going to be on the Mania show more likely? Julia, this match. Julia, this match.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's definitely a piss break match if that's thrown out there, and that's no discredit to either of the performers. It's just like, again, Maxine Dupree running afterwards, attacking Nattie, making her look strong. But they haven't had that, the feud isn't really developing what it needs to do for either one of them.
Oh my gosh, I just figured it out. Though this is Bloodsport. That's where we put this show. Put Maxine and Nattie at Bloodsport.
Oh, geez. Okay. Who's the Chong Li?
It's going to be Maxine Dupree.
Do her the chant and everything. I love it. Maxine. Yeah, okay. Let's move forward, folks. Adam Pearce offers the world to Obafemi in a contract, but he has to think about it, and he gets a little standoff with Rusev, and they little smile from him quickly before he puts on a tough guy face and remembers that this is fighting time. Signs of a Rusev Day t-shirt too, Brad.
He was better off when he was Rusev Day. This poor guy, every time I see him come back, I'm like, who got screwed over more on the way back? Was it Aleister Black or was it Rusev?
I think he wants, again, these guys want to be there. Aleister Black, he's with his wife. The guy's got to be pretty thrilled for numerous reasons, being married to Zelina Vega. But being with his wife every week has to be kind of a huge bonus. I think that Rusev, there was some plans for Lana to come back originally when he did. And I don't know. Maybe she's doing well in other business ventures.
We should say, good on bump. Rusev should come. I'd love to see Rusev go back to NXT. And I know that sounds crazy, but I think we're going to talk about Finn Balor later, and his career turns on that second NXT run. And I think that's what we need. We need Rusev to be someplace where he could be dominant. I mean, I'd like to see him kill Joe Henry. That'd be great.
Yeah. And NXT's roster is definitely in need of some bolstering right now. If they've lost Javon, they've lost Oba, Trick, we're talking about that roster really being depleted at the moment, and your top guys being Joe and Ricky, and it's again
the guy that pulls the guy that pulls the tooth out of his face.
Yeah. No offense to either of them, or anybody that's there. Yes, to have somebody like Rusev there would only help their roster, help their show get better and better. Okay.
Boy.
We do the sit down interview here. Michael Cole is talking to Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio about who Liv is picking. She is not going to rush the decision, but you know who's going to rush in out of nowhere, like a Latina fox that she is in the night, and just chew apart poor little Liv Morgan. Here comes Stephanie Vaquer just going full Latina madness. Just if you've never dated Latina folks and you've made them angry, then you understand what happens, and you understand the fear what happens with an angry Latina lady in your face. But yes, here comes Stephanie Vaquer, and she is talking all types of guff to Liv Morgan. Dominic is doing his absolute best to be a live translator and failing miserably at doing so. Very, very seldomly can he keep up with anything that she's saying. And poor Liv Morgan the whole time is just sitting back there, like going further and further to tears. Liv kind of understands whatever Steph is saying here, or at least trying to say, as she breaks down. And Dominic does very bad job. For one, to protect his lady. Two, he could have just said whatever he wanted to. He could have said whatever he wanted to, but he's just sitting there, just trying to translate. Subtitles. Sometimes they're not necessary. Sometimes they are. Thoughts, Brad?
I think some of the things she probably said should not have been subtitled. At the end of the day, this just confirms what we all suspected, was that Liv's going to go for this title and probably win. And this leaves Jade to get whoever survives the chamber. And from the looks of things, that's not going to be who we thought it was going to be, because it looks like Bianca Belair had her finger fixed.
Yeah, she's going to be out for a while, and apparently she's now rehabbing, so that's definitely not going to happen. But, okay, that happened. That promo happened. Like you said, Liv Morgan will definitely be, she said, she's thinking about it. Why would you go at Jade if you could go at Steph? And Steph also has your title.
Yeah, and it's gonna be good. It should be a good match. That's a better matchup. It's a better contrast. Mm-hmm. Eric, what are they gonna do with the chamber though? Because like you're definitely not gonna get Rhea Ripley. I don't think you're getting EO. And I think Charlotte and Alexa are still in that tag division. So it's like process of elimination. Who's left in this division?
You raise a good point. Whereas they're going to be put in a position where they have to choose somebody. And we got a few more spots to fill here. Who knows who it's going to be? So it's hard to determine where they could go. But even when, say, for example, like Liv Morgan won Money in the Bank. I know it's a different event, but when Liv Morgan won Money in the Bank and she was in that face position, this is pre-Judgment Day. This is her first title run. She really had like no business winning it and then cashing in that night and winning the championship, taking it from Ronda Rousey. Like it didn't make any sense at all. So we could go randomly in any position here. It's either going to make or break somebody's career one way or another.
And hopefully for Stephanie Vercare, this main event with Liv makes her career, even if she's not the winner, because she is too good not to be the future of this division.
No, and she has been rushed and thrust into this position where she is their champion because Liv and because Rhea had their injuries. And to her credit, with Rhea and Liv back in the roster, they've still bolstered her and made her look like a star. They've still booked her to be that strong champion that she is. Talking about strong champions, here's CM Punk for a chat, folks. He is not happy right now because he knows that people are trying to tell him, don't jeopardize your opportunity at WrestleMania for the biggest main event of all time against Roman Reigns. Let's talk about that for a second here, Brad. A lot of people online see Roman Reigns winning at WrestleMania almost like it's guaranteed to happen. For what reason is that, right or wrong?
Wait, you want me to say it's right or wrong? I think it's wrong. I think Punk's winning this. He's never won his WrestleMania main event. Where Roman's won, felt like 10, 20 years worth of WrestleMania main events. Felt like we were on the Hogan streak for a while there. I don't think Roman is long for this world. I hope people appreciate what we're getting. This is the one chance we're getting at this match. I know Greg doesn't appreciate it. He's ready to throw something at his television every time he hears about this main event. But it's the biggest main event that WWE can make with the current players available. And that means they have to do it because they need to sell tickets. And yeah, whether we like it or not, Roman and Punk both sell tickets. So you took the two biggest stars, put them together. And I think it's actually going to be quite the match.
Mm-hmm. No, it's going to, like, again, the buildup that they have between the two of them and the time that they have to do so, they're going to give us a good match. It's going to be a good story between the two of them. And to your point, like, Roman seems like he's just bound for Hollywood. And ready to be that I'll show up 2 times a year kind of guy for that massive pop, that Brock pop. And that's fine. Like, that's special. And we've seen like such a great run on Roman Reigns ever since the Thunderdome, people. Like, and even before that. This tribal chief character has been so incredible that, yes, we've gotten tired of the fact that he's been strongly booked, but there's reasons why. And once he is gone, we're going to look back and be like, wow, that was incredible. All of it.
What could they have done, Eric? Were they going to put Finn Balor here and make this a triple threat? Like, no. Were they like, I don't know who else you could put in here. We don't want to see Cody and Roman again. I mean, the only other match you have is Cody and Punk. And I think you could save that one for another year where you could have Cody and Punk, where you don't have any guarantee next year in Saudi Arabia that you're going to have Roman Reigns.
This is true. Yeah, absolutely. They're going to ask for him, though. We know that. They're going to throw the book at him to come, and the money will be there.
And Yokozuna, and the Ultimate Warrior, and the Macho Man. They're all coming out.
All of them are coming. All of them are coming one way or another. And that Saudi guy that they signed, he's going to be in the main event as well. WrestleMania. Let's do it. But okay, anyways, Punk is in the ring, and like you said, Finn Balor, he's talking about Finn Balor, his match with Finn, Q, Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough to join Finn Balor, make his way to the ring. They do surround him, but they don't jump him. He doesn't want to jeopardize the event that he's in. He's not going to jump Punk, but Punk actually goes ahead and turns his back on all of them, tells them, to jump at them if they want to. Go ahead and do so. Prove him right. Prove everyone wrong and see what happens. And anyways, this is a really good promo that we see here. Punk is really spitting some fire. And at the end, he throws the microphone at Finn Balor and hits him, if not directly in the Jack Johnson, then right above. Like, that mic toss is funny as hell. And the thud it makes too is so great. To Finn's credit, he no-sells it either way. But a nice little promo here. And Finn Balor, also a point that I haven't made, is coming out to his face music, doing his face entrance, but he's still flanked by the Judgment Day. It's a really weird vibe, Brad.
It's got to lead to a breakup. Which, by the way, won't end Judgment Day. I'm just putting this out here. They can break up 52 times. This faction is just going to keep changing parts.
Yeah, and they've proven that they're very adaptable and able to do so. Bring people in, bring them out. Some are with the company, some are not. Then there's all these different like versions of them. You have the comedy version with R-Truth. You have the first edition with Edge, where they were trying to build Edge to be up this supernatural kind of character, and Edge didn't want to do it. Didn't work out. And then they evolved to this. So it just keeps going and growing and growing. It's crazy.
It only ends when Damian Priest rejoins the Judgment Day. Actually, when Edge finishes with his AEW run and rejoins the Judgment Day, he'll have to finish in AEW, come back WWE to kill the Judgment Day.
Speaking about killing each other, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are here, and they are ready to keep their tag titles. And we have to talk about what happened on SmackDown with all those ladies trying to kill each other and being in utter just destruction on the floor. And also Nia Jax just being absolutely hilarious with her cell. And
her amazing gear, her and Lash Legend. And
oh, yeah.
This whole thing is all about Kairi and Asuka, though, because every scene they're in, they steal it. And if I could trade you anybody for the MFTs, it would be Kairi and Asuka.
Kairi, yeah, no, I love Kairi Sane and what she does, and then Asuka, she's just tried, tested, and true. Her being in this match is only going to mean that you're going to get quality out of anything that she's involved in. And again, somebody is there to take a pin. She's got to take a pin from somebody. People got to lose, folks. It has to happen at some point. Anyways, okay, talking about people gotta lose. It's El Grande Americano versus a random opponent, and that opponent is Penta. All right, we are going straight into the trope that we thought we were going to go into right away, which is we're going to have luchadors fighting luchadors. And unfortunately, poor Penta, man. When Penta first came into WWE, they were trying to push him as this big thing, next potential champion. He was in a Money in the Bank match, and now he is fighting El Grande Americano in kind of like a comedy sketch area match here, where later on in the match, we see it evolve into Benny Hill, Looney Tunes. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's definitely a cartoonish vibe for most of the match here, let alone at the point when you see Rayo being dragged underneath the ring by a random set of hands, and out emerges El Grande Americano Original.
Who just prevents the mask from being loaded, and then he somehow managed to take out both of the two of the best wrestlers that ever come out of Britain get destroyed. I mean, sorry, the two of the best wrestlers come out of Latin America get destroyed, and Penta hits a really cool looking Mexican destroyer.
Yeah, that's the highlight of the match. That move is the highlight of the match. That's the moment where you jump back as a fan and you're like, whoa. You forget about the fact that we just saw Tyler Bate just digging for grapes down there in his trousers for, I don't know, it seemed like forever, but he was really enjoying that search.
And then the worst part about this is, so Penta's going to go for the IC title and probably not win, because Finn and Dominic have to feud over that title. Or could we just can Penta just say, you know what? I don't want the IC title. I'll be the AAA mega champion.
Well, I think that Dom wants to move away from that Intercontinental Championship, or they want to move him away from that championship before they ramp up, let's say, next WrestleMania. I think at that point they want to start talking about Dom potentially being in the world title picture. What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh. Well, first of all, he's going to have to drop the AAA Mega Championship to somebody. Maybe that's what him and Finn will feud over, because Finn would fit in. It'd be cool for Finn to get a run in AAA, but Dominic is like the big face down in AAA, which
he's the god there right now. He's the Hulk Hogan of AAA at the moment. Like, as far as the ratings go, as far as their numbers wise go, when Dom is there, that's their main time to shine, and for good reason. The guy is a future superstar, if not a current superstar, right? And that hair and mustache just flowing in the wind. Not so much tonight. Tonight he definitely greased it up a little bit. Somebody told him he saw the Ned Flanders meme. Let's just be real about it. Saw the Ned Flanders meme.
Greased it up. So the voice of the ghost of his real father, Eddie Guerrero, appeared and said, "Son, you have to use the Vaseline on the mustache.
Here's a dude wipe. Wipe down your mustache and hair." Dude Wipes, the official partner of WWE, and you can see Dude Wipes logo directly on Dominic Mysterio's new t-shirt. Gotta love it. Love it directly on the shirt.
These guys are great. I'm looking forward to this match because Dominic and Penta will have a great match. It feels like it could be, it's like sad though. It's the main event probably of a future AAA match, but here in Raw, it's going to be what, hour one, halfway through hour one?
Yeah. Well, one other notable moment of this match or post-match is when we have El Grande Americano hit his Rolling Chaos Theory right directly on the mat outside of the ring. That looks nasty. The thud that's there, gnarly as well. The other Americanos make the way for the save. He runs off. El Grande Original versus El Grande Americano. Where is it going to happen? Is it going to happen at AAA's Rey de Reyes? Is it going to happen at WrestleMania?
AAA Rey de Reyes, I hope, for their sake. Because if it's on WrestleMania, it's going to be lost in the middle of night two. And no one's going to remember it.
Could be. Honestly, though, Brad, when you talk about what Chad Gable is capable of, and then you talk about what Kaiser's capable of, or how good of a wrestler Kaiser has been, I don't know. It's one of those matches that could really shock the shit out of you when you think about it. And Gable has a way of being that guy that people are always like, there's no way this guy deserves to be there in this position. But he always shines somehow. And ripping off a mask at the end of the match, it might be worth it to do that in America more than AAA. Triple A might be pissed by it.
Now you've talked me into it. And then the rematch in at AAA is going to be mask versus hair. So, and I mean, Kaiser won't matter if he loses his hair. Like, it's fine, Kaiser. You'll look handsome without your hair.
He's fine either way. I love how they've started to point out that he's an imposter to the point where he is even now gotten a Mexican girlfriend. He's that much of an imposter, and they've nailed this. Honestly, this entire thing was meant to be probably a rib or a joke from the beginning, and they've nailed it through the injury, passing it to Kaiser. Kaiser's knocked it out of the park. He's a face in AAA, for Christ's sakes. So that's how that match there might not happen in AAA because the dynamic is different.
Right, because I think down there, I think the original is actually the heel.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they both lose the mask.
Just imagine. And it's all for nothing, folks. But we got an action figure out of it, so I'm good with it. Cool.
We got a 2K character out of it. The question is, can you switch between, when you swap between the original and the other one, do you get totally different move sets?
Yeah. Okay. Well, Penta and El Grande Original Americano seem to be like they're on good terms at the very least. So there we are. Little Liv Morgan is in the Judgment Day clubhouse, and she's upset. She's very upset. Dom wants her to take the night off, as she does get up to go and touch grass with Raquel Rodriguez, as they said on the show. You do look on the couch, and there are some very cool Dino Chicken Nuggy pillows. So, way to go, Judgment Day. You guys keep on being better and better with your clubhouse, all the little accessories. Speaking about accessories to the clubhouse, here comes JD McDonough, and he's asking Finn Balor, what are you doing? His accent is so thick that I can barely understand what he's saying. Talking about subtitles, man. JD's accent here is just thick. What are you doing? I was like, my God, dude. To our Irish listeners, I apologize. I'm going to get DMs on my Instagram. But yes, the accent is heavy here, but ultimately he's just wondering what Finn is doing. Like you said, it's probably leading to a breakup here. Judgment Day somehow. Finn breaks up in the group. JD stays behind. I mean, it only makes sense that the protege is eventually going to take out his trainer, right?
Right. And I think eventually you're going to have just new members of the Judgment Day. They've been this version more or less for this whole year. When you exclude that, the one character who wasn't here tonight, Roxanne, like this faction has pretty much been a unit. So it's time for a switch up, and somebody will turn on somebody for a title. Probably the Intercontinental title will end up on Finn, and Finn will do the mid-carded superstar kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, Roxanne, apparently, I don't know if it's an injury or what's going on, but there's a lot of posts that she put up from her Judgment Day teammates with get well soon cards and stuff like that. So, man, if it is, the injury bug has been killer in the WWE this last 3 to 6 months, especially. You are just taking out so much of your main players, which has mean you have to adapt storylines over and over again. But they've never had a roster like this where they could pick and choose like superstars. Okay, if this person drops out, he can fit the role easily. If she drops out, she can fit the role easily. Like, they just have so much now, Brad. It's hard for them to lose steam with these major injuries, even though it does suck.
But every once in a while, then you have legends that you can pull out of the sky and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to take this dream character from one generation and have them fight the next dream character from this other generation, because that's why we're going to have this next segment.
Exactly. We're talking about AJ Lee making her way to the ring, folks. She is lighting it up. Light it up, light it up, light it up. Yeah, she is lighting it up on the way to the ring. And she is ready for her first singles match in 11 years now, it seems like. And it's going to be against Becky Lynch, one of the best ever to do it. Becky Boo Boo, as she calls her, so to speak. That's a nice little nickname. I thought it was cute, but we're a little bit late on the La Boo Boo train, so it was a little bit weird. But here comes Becky Boo Boo in the flesh to come out and answer the call of AJ here for the Elimination Chamber. And ultimately, Becky says, look, you didn't get your retirement match, so this is going to be a retirement match for you. This is going to be a send-off in front of all your friends and family that come to see, and there's no way that she has another title reign. Brad, I mean, after we've seen AJ just do the doubles match with Punk and now coming here to do this match with Becky, everything that Becky is saying really makes sense, right?
Oh, I had a button pressed. Yeah, no, it's been a really good. I don't know. I really like their interaction. I'm surprised it's going to happen in Chicago, but I have a sense that this is the screwy finish before we get an actual finish in Vegas, because this is the title that matters probably the most on Raw. Becky's done a really good job of elevating the IC title.
Yeah, no, she definitely has. But then when you have that title switch from people like Becky to Maxine, or you try to consider going from Becky to a Lyra kind of Valkyria, it's just, it never adds up. So when you're looking at, like, again, legend against current legend against past legend, again, we're talking about what's supposed to be the upper mid card title. And it seems to be, like you said, very, very important, which is a good thing.
You could have a Bella win it in this show. You could have Kyrie win it. Like, you have a way better
Kyrie,
roster.
Kyrie, yes, please, Kyrie. Bella, oh my God. As soon as you said Bella, I just thought about how they weren't here this week, and my week was better instantly.
They are the reason why this is a 5-way tag team match. And they are the fifth team. They will stand not in a corner, they will stand at ringside, and somebody will politely tag them in so that they can pin Rhea Ripley.
Oh no, you can look, but you can't touch, folks. That's what's going to happen. You heard it here first. Brad, I think you're right with that one too. Oh God. Anyways, talking about who's who and what's what, Adam Pearce again in the back. If anybody gets the most amount of screen time recently on the show, more than anybody else, it's Adam Pearce. It's like, Adam Pearce, you're going to be on TV for 30 minutes tonight. Are you okay with that? And he's like, consider it done. I need a drink. But yeah, he's there and he's dealing with the division, and they're mad about the masked man. But Pearce also says it's a problem for him. Bronson Reed says once he finds that problem, he is going to solve it for everybody. No problem whatsoever. All right, random video on AJ Styles, and we are getting a random like Hall of Fame announcement / tribute next week, I guess you can say. And or does AJ Styles have a lot left in the tank?
Does AJ Styles get killed and Dragon Lee have to save him? That's also a distinct possibility given how the show ends.
True.
Do you know what else I just discovered? And because I remember reading it today and I don't want to double check it. You know, Adam Pearce is getting another royalty check coming up shortly. You know that, right?
Oh, no. Or
he's in WWE 2K. He is a playable character. Scrap Iron Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis have been added to the 2K roster.
Oh man, that's a lot. For the NWA fans, that's a lot. That is a big thing. I know people want that. And there's been worse created characters, downloads, action figure versions of characters. So that's a pretty good add-on there. But okay, AJ Styles, any chance AJ Styles is coming out of quasi-retirement here? As people are so hoping that he is.
He's going to have a match with Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. That's what we're getting. The two of them. He's going to open up the box at Elimination Chamber and pull Chris Jericho and say, "One more match, buddy."
They're going to open up that box. The camera's going to jump away quickly, and then you're just going to hear, "We need a medic. We need a medic." When was the last time this man had food?
AJ Styles is going to be in the crate. He's going to no-show again. Like, he was advertised for a SmackDown for this kind of segment, and he's going to no-show, and it's actually going to be him. He's been in the crate since he retired.
Oh, geez. All right. I'm curious to see what's in that crate, but am I excited about it whatsoever? No, I'm not. I feel like if it's somebody that you're introducing, there are far better ways to do so. And I think that we've learned this by now from like Gobbledygooker and Shockmaster and all of these other kind of things. We don't need anybody smashing out of the crate unless we want to be infamous for all the wrong reasons, right? Like it just doesn't need to happen.
It's never happened. The only time this ever worked, ironically, and the reason why people think it's Jericho, was the Jericho clock.
This is true.
But for one good thing, wrestling fans, in 30 years of wrestling, does not make a pattern. In fact, it proves it's like calling something new. If you add the word new in front of it, it's a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talking about new, let's move on into the main event here. It is the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Javon Evans, Gunther, Dominic Mysterio. Randy talks about it all the time. He looks at guys like Oba, Trick, and Javon Evans, and he thinks that Javon has the biggest potential out of all of them as far as being like the star on your roster. He sees Javon as the guy that has massive potential. Oba's a monster. He's always going to be a monster, right? Like, what are you going to do to really build that character more? Javon is always going to be somebody who's a little bit more relatable, and he's bouncy, and everybody likes the bounce.
And Trick's got the gift of gab, but the question is, does the ring IQ add up to the gab? And I think if I was ranking the guys, it's actually not the way they had them in NXT. I would actually flip them. I think it's Javon, Trick, Oba, not Oba, Trick, Javon. Mm-hmm. And this match shows you why Javon Williams is special. There's something very special there.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the crowd loves the guy. Like the guy's got it. He has it's not really a gimmick. He's just himself. And he also has all this meta stuff going on in the background. His mom keeps on making posts of when my son was a child. This was his dream. And people love that stuff. This is the year for people to really love getting behind somebody who came from nothing to be something. Absolutely. But we get a good match here. We haven't seen Dominic Mysterio wrestle in a long time in WWE ring since the injury, more or less. And we haven't seen Gunther do anything but win in a ring for a very long time. So as soon as they booked this match, the first thing that I thought is, okay, they're going to put Gunther in the chamber, and then that's like your beast that you have in the chamber. That makes sense. But again, there's just something about Javon that is just so special and undeniable. So without even going into this match, let's look at what spots you like really need in an elimination chamber to make it a fun match, right? You want like your powerhouse. You want your technician. You want somebody who's kind of more or less unhinged. You need like a high flyer, somebody who's going to take the high spots, do the high spots, and probably take a pin, unfortunately. So with that being said, getting into this match, Gunther, again, looks like a beast here. There's going to have to be something that happens here to change things to make sure that Gunther can't win the match, right? As we see Rey Mysterio setting up his 619, we see Gunther come to grab the bell. Sorry, he has the hammer of the bell. And out of nowhere comes a masked man. It's Dragon Lee, folks. Yes, he still exists on the roster, and he nails Gunther with that bell, more or less taking him out of the match. So we have Javon Evans and Mysterio left in the match here, two future stars of the company, more or less. And when we see Mysterio hit the 619 to Evans, but misses his frog splash, somehow Javon rolls into that OG cutter, and Javon Evans, the hot start of WWE right now, is going to the chamber. It's not Obafemi going to the chamber. It is Javon Evans. And you know what? There's still some spots left, but you can't put Oba in that chamber and make him look weak.
And okay, so Sami Zayn's not in the chamber. Jacob Fatu is not in the chamber, but Javon Evans is in the chamber. Like that's wild. I'm calling this right now. Javon Evans is taking a crazy RKO off of something.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that he's there in that Logan Paul spot, right? He is there in that Ricochet spot, you can say, right? He is going to be the guy that gives us that high spot highlight of the night, takes that massive bump. Hopefully gets a couple of pins or at least one. It'd be good to see him just remain strong here as he's on his ascent here on the roster. Again, not like you need more top guys because you have a million top guys, but you always have to keep building to the future because, like we've talked about, you never know when your best guy is going to go down for 6 to 12 months.
He should be Trick, because I would say Trick's probably getting in this week over it's Damian Priest, Trick, and Carmelo, and I would say Trick is probably your likely one. You should have him catch Trick. He should catch. Trick can be hit by somebody else's finisher, but he can get the OG cutter and win, and then be celebrating, go do something bouncy, and Randy Orton just kills him with an RKO.
Yeah, and you saw Royce Keys. He was on a dark match last week on SmackDown. He could show up and mess around with Priest again. They're obviously building towards some feud there because he eliminated him from the Rumble, so who knows?
Or they're not building against Priest. Or they're not building up to a feud, and he's just not going to show up. That's who's in the box. It's Royce Keys. That's where he's been for the last 3 weeks.
He smashes his way out. That'd be believable, at least. That's a big man. Smashing out of that box makes sense. If it's like Chris Jericho smashing out of that box, you're like, what hammer do you have to help you get out of that, sir? You had to undo the nails first. Anyways, yeah, folks, that was Monday Night Raw. You know what, Brad? Randy usually gives us a banana rating for matches and overall. So, Brad, how about you give us
I'll give you a
rating.
I'll give you a banana rating. This was like, I would say for most of these matches, they were solid 3s. And I would say this is a 3 rating. There's nothing bad. There's just nothing good. And it's also the kind of Raw that you're going to look back on and say, what was the important things that I needed to know? Okay, Penta's got a thing. Javon made his first chamber appearance. He qualified. And Asuka's in the chamber as well. Great. Did anything else happen on this show? Not really. Was it a bad 2 hours? No. If I had to watch this, if I could watch this instead of SmackDown every week, would I? Yes.
You definitely make a lot of good points. And for me, when the first message I'm sending to the group chat after I watch Raw is, oh my God, did you see that microphone hit Finn Balor right in his dick? Yeah, that goes to show you that there is only so much that we could talk about this week. But again, we are always ramping up to these major events, and Chamber is going to be good. It's always good, honestly. As long as you have those 2 matches there on that card, it doesn't matter what else. But it's not going to be nearly as good as it was last year. I'll tell you that much.
That's because we're not going to be there. John Cena's not turning heel, and I mean nothing else matters. He was awesome. It was awesome for a lot of other reasons too. But I just want to say thank you for letting me fill in. I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank the Smack Daddies. That would be me and Greg. I want to thank you guys here at the Draw Straws Raw, and also The Draw, which you can catch on TSN Radio. I also want to thank InteriorPlants.ca, the natural solution to a healthier and more beautiful lawn environment. That's InteriorPlants.ca. Pure Fandom, your home for all things pro wrestling and lucha libre and replica masks, championship belts, accessories, props, purely fandom, purely Canadian. That's purefandom.ca. Also, I'd like to thank Lick-a-Chick, my lovely wife, and Pancakes for fueling me to get through this. Oh, and Kool-Aid and all of the fun other things that we have there. I found that in the description of the podcast to do the ad read, and I even made music. So I will put that in a post.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Brad, for joining me. Means a lot, and I definitely owe you a solid at any point in time. Just don't
offer that. If you watched SmackDown recently, don't say that out loud. Greg's already like calling you right now. Yeah, this Friday, the following Friday, the next 7 or 8 Fridays. When does it go back to 2 hours? Greg will be back then.
I'm making this clear right now for Greg. This is a favor for Brad. All right, Brad, thank you so much. Guys, thank you for listening to another week as we talk about the haps with the craps. You can follow me online at Instagram with Eric and Wrestling with Eric on Instagram. And you can go to any of your podcast destinations and search for the Hub Sports Entertainment Network. You can find great shows of the Smack Daddies, The Draw Straws Raw, and all of our conversation series, including my current, most recent chat that I had with the Mountie Jocks Rougeau. So until the next time, folks, please take care of yourselves and each other and continue to live your lives impactfully.
Live, laugh, and love wrestling. Deuces, ooses.
Deuces! Deuces!